slides here. I think there's 13 of them.
Yeah.
I got 3 documents. They're all the same, just different formats I expected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can put this as the, I'm going to turn on the recording just so I don't forget.
Okay.
And I don't know how many will attend or not, but it will be preserved, and then we'll be able to put it into our archives where we have a number of good courses. We had a session earlier, about 2 hours ago. The doctor spoke about heat stroke and conditions of exercise and heat. It was pretty good. And now for yours, the widgets are where the slides reside. Now, did you sign in? Let me see if you're attendee, you're a guest. ID guest.
Okay.
I also have put a few things up on the WASU site. How long do you think it'll be as far as the presentation?
I think an hour, maybe less. Depends on the questions, on the number of the attenders. I'd like to have a conversation, discussion, an open discussion with them after I will present the slides. So we'll see.
Okay. The interactions with people from all around the world, I don't know if it's language or whatever, it's sometimes slow, but I will definitely have questions for you. And we'll
okay, that's good.
Keep
that's
them.
Good.
But you're logged in as a guest, so I don't believe you have access to the widgets. You have to be a host to do that.
Okay, so I need to disconnect it and try to connect as
that would be good. And then you can control the slides. And I sort of like that feature. So right when you go to log in, there's a window below, log in as a host or guest or...
okay, let me try it.
Then you'll use your email address.
Okay, let me try it.
Okay. If not, you come back. Yeah, we have a little bit of time now. I'm going to play a song. It's about a 4-minute song. And we'll see if Coach can log in as a host. But here you go.
We started with a whistle and a waterproof pen. Talked about coaching and what it means to men. From lap lanes to leadership roles, it's more than splits, it's shaping souls. Heavy or not, we swam through it all. Tech teamwork, healing after the fall. With water's wisdom, coaches stand tall. Heavy or not, we surf life's call. When pools were shuttered, the mission got loud. Equity, safety, we challenged the crowd. Talked about strokes and swimming with grace, and bringing joy back to the training space. Olympic twists and event design. We questioned progress and drew the line. How much yardage is too much pain? Let's train for health and long-term gain. Mental reps and taper plans. We cheer the tryhards and quiet fans. Hyperbaric dreams and rescue gear. Kept it real but kept it clear. From honeybees to IL games, to lost facilities and shifting lanes. Tech tools, balance, burnout fears. The OG swim guide through 50 years. Heavy or not, we stayed in the lane. Shared the stories, shared the pain. From pool deck shatter to tech and rain. Heavy or not, we coach again.
Just filling some time here. Where is my widgets? Why'd it go like that?
Yeah.
Hey, there we are.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I did.
Okay. So if you go to the top right of your screen, there's a widgets
Yeah.
icon. It's a puzzle. And then there's a number of different other presentations, but yours is just called basketball. There's a folder, I think, at the very bottom. You click on the basketball folder, you open it up, and you see the images 1 through 13 of your slides.
Okay.
So why don't you click on that? Yep. And then when it's displayed, nobody else will see the deck, the order, but your speaker is then present in the bottom right-hand corner, and everybody sees the big slide. And then you can hide it. So if you're just going to talk about something, just hide the image, what I'll do here, and then we're back in full mode. And then if you want to go, jump ahead to slide 3, I just clicked on it, and it shows for everybody. And the other little tip is in the middle of the top is the view button. And you can watch as a gallery or watch with only the speaker being in the active view. The speaker then has a bit of a green border around them.
Yeah.
So I like to watch after we get going in the active speaker view. But maybe in the beginning, it'll be a little bit better to see the gallery of other people. Now, when people join us, they'll all be muted. And I can ask people to unmute, or we can take the questions as a chat button. And people can ask questions in the chat. Now, Josh is muted now, and he doesn't have a camera either. So maybe he's listening. Maybe he's already left. Here's another coach who's just entering. Hey, he was here in our last presentation too. But speak, like there's 100 people in the audience, because we'll record it and upload it, and it'll be a resource for people into the future.
Okay, great.
So we'll start in 5 minutes or so. I have another widget that is a countdown widget. If I can, timer for 5 minutes in the top left corner. And then we'll start. Whoops, you went to your presentation. That's okay. I think
Do you want me to hide it?
No, that's fine. We're good.
Okay.
We'll just keep people abreast. We'll start in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Are you gonna introduce me, or I'm gonna start straight
Yeah,
away?
I'll just welcome you to the stage and ask people
Okay.
to, enter the questions in the chat as we go. Where are you located these days?
Well, I am back in Greece for a few days, and then I will go back in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Boy, the Saudis are really spending a lot of money on sports, aren't they?
Yeah, they're spending too much. Yeah, they have so high targets. We'll see.
And yeah, so I don't want to ask too many questions because I want to have you tell us all at the same time, but that'll be great. Maybe later I could email you and you can introduce me to a prince and they can fund some interesting things in aquatics.
Yeah, of course.
You're using a lot of artificial intelligence, AI things. What are your favorite tools?
Well, I'm starting to use it. I'm not using so much until now, but okay, ChatGPT. It's an easy way to have quickly answers on several issues. Well, this is something that we're gonna discuss during the presentation. Also,
Okay, I will wait.
the limits between the codes, the human being actions, and the AE. Of course, I think that everything is running so fast, and it's a matter of time AE to replace many things and many people. But this is an interesting issue, in my opinion,
Yes,
about the borders and how we should set the borders and how we should try to limit it.
I fully agree. Yeah, I'm making a podcast myself called Heavy or Not. That was a little bit of a end of a song that played when you just joined. That song was written totally in artificial intelligence about the show. I have more than 50 episodes, but I also, at the end of October, I'll have to put in a letter of intent for a grant to try to use artificial intelligence in our swimming background in our neighborhood. So I applied last spring in April, I believe, and that was the subject of one of my past podcasts as well. So I'll send you some of those links when we're done.
Yeah, please do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very helpful to get new coaches aware of what they should be doing if they are never coached before. Especially in swimming, you might have somebody that's a teacher in history or English or mathematics, and now they want to volunteer or step up and coach the swimming team because they need a coach. Well, they should be able to turn to some cultivated tools in AI to help them so that they are able to lead a program that makes sense for the kids and for this team. But yeah, it's not going to take the place of the coach. It'll just maybe give them a.
Yeah, this is a very useful way to use AI. But the problem that I can see that we're going to face much more in basketball and team sports is, what actually is happening already, that I'm waiting by somebody that somebody is the AE to give me solutions for everything. I'm not using my mind anymore. It's like something fast track. I'm waiting everything, my practice schedule, my playbook, the way that I'm gonna play defense against the opponent by the artificial intelligence.
Wow.
So that's gonna be hard, and that's gonna be in the wrong direction, I think.
Right. Right. That's
For example, yeah,
exactly right.
I know many new coaches who actually, many young coaches, what they are doing, they think that if we're gonna watch some videos on YouTube, and after that we're gonna use artificial intelligence to adjust those videos, those, let's say, plays or the playbook on our team, it's enough, which of course it's totally wrong.
Well, hopefully there's a lot of those coaches in your division or in your league, because then you can win.
Oh yeah, okay, but this is not the point. I prefer to win against coaches who are really trying to do their best and they're working hard.
Yes, I'm trying to show some humor. Okay,
Yeah, of course.
I think we should begin. It's about time. I am in the morning. You are probably in the evening. And
Afternoon,
welcome, afternoon. Welcome from around the world. In the Philippines, it's late time. It's almost midnight or 10:30 p.m. But I'm Coach Mark in Pittsburgh, and it's a pleasure to be here with you and share some of the coaching wisdom from other expert visitors who have volunteered their time to be with us. And we want to turn the floor over to a basketball coach who's coaching with cybergenetic principles. Coach, please introduce yourself. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Coach Ioannis Diamantakos from Greece. Thank you for having me. We will start straight to the presentation. I would like to talk about basketball coaching through cybernetic principles. I believe that it's something which it's very important at the era, at the period that we are living. And why that? Because of artificial intelligence, and because every coach should start thinking how he will improve himself firstly in order to improve his team. Because if we as coaches we will not improve ourselves, we cannot have the pretension our players and our team to become better. So let's start with the images of the presentations, and we can make many comments. First of all, let's start with the definition and its core principles. Let's try to explore the connection with coaching and performance systems. So cybernetic principles, including also apply feedback and control theory to basketball. But what actually is it means cybernetic? It becomes from the term from Greek language, kybernetes, governor, for example, you can call it, has been introduced by Wiener in 1948 as study of control and communication in animals and machines. He was saying that systems regulate through feedback and variety. So let's see how we can adjust those on basketball. Sports are complex adaptive systems. They're not linear mechanisms. It's not that I will show you how you shot the ball and you will make it. No, it's not like that. Teams are like to self-organize through feedback, adaptation, and self-proposed. And now it comes cybernetics, which understanding interdependence, loops, and control. Coach is like a navigator. It's not a controller. He drives, he creates the navigation. And of course, the goal is design the environment that allows intelligent behavior to emerge. Now, we can see how we will combine it the cybernetic principle with coaching application, how we're going to do it. We can use sensors or inputs, so we can have observation, analytics, and performance data. Feedback loops, video review, verbal cues, metrics tracking. Control system, which means adjusting drills, rotations, or the tempo of the game. Adaptation. Players are learning and adjusting under constraints. And output, improve decision-making, coordinations, etc. This is the cycle of adaptive coaching. First of all, sense, observe performance data. Second, analyze. Third, decision. Fourth, act. We need to implement corrections. 5, evaluate, which is very important. And after that, we return to the first step, continuous self-regulating loop. So we can understand that players' performance and team performance is coach, feedback, and system adaptation. Feedback is an essential term and process in coaching, not only in basketball, in any sport, and in any job. Yeah, okay. I think data overload and feedback fatigue, over-reliance on technology, over-intuition, privacy and player trust in data collection, balancing structure against creativity, ensuring technology serves human development, but not replace it. This is very, very important. Okay, now the issue that we were discussing before the start of the presentation, the role of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence assists feedback and adaptive coaching tools. Emotional and cognitive cybernetic and leadership you can see in Bell's models. Integration of neuroscience and data-driven feedback, dynamic modeling of team synergy and learning ecosystems. Team synergy, we're talking about team cohesion, about team chemistry. Key points. Cybernetics reframes coaching as system design, feedback, and adaptation drive growth. Coaches act as navigators of complexity, empower athletes to self-regulate and evolve. Okay, I could offer some reference, selected reference for anybody who would like to learn more. But the main idea is to use cybernetic principles and cybernetic science in order to rebuild our way and to prepare our players and our team. This is the main idea. And we as coaches, we need to act as navigator, as I mentioned before. So now, since I prepared only a few slides because I'd like to discuss with the coaches about cybernetic principles.
Yeah, let's do that. But I'd like to know a little bit more, Coach, about yourself. You have a PhD. Tell me about your study in the academic world, and then a little bit more about your coaching background. Where have you been, and where you are now?
Yeah. Okay. My PhD was in organizational psychology, so that makes connection with cybernetic principles. So I tried to copy and adjust methods and tools from organizational psychology to a basketball team. That was the idea. Of course, the main tool in organizational psychology is evaluation and feedback. So my thesis was exactly on evaluating players, teams, and offer them the feedback, but which way we offer the feedback. It's very important to understand the way that we're running the feedback. When we are using positive feedback, when we are using negative feedback, because as I'm sure that everybody understands and knows that feedback is the main part of the study process. So that was my academic background. After that, I was I have worked for 4 different national federations in order to prepare junior national teams or even senior national teams, and implemented programs for young players. Recently, I was working for the Lebanese Basketball Federation, and at the last 4 months, I was working in Saudi Arabia. We were working in Alula Club.
What other sports are really doing good things with cybernetics or the coaching feedback? Is it happening in water polo, or do you seeing it happening differently in soccer or football or basketball? Who's doing it well? Or are you seeing different things in different sports?
Okay, I think for sure in basketball and football, they're in the high level. I mean, Champions League, Euro League, NBA for sure, they're using it. If you review my slides, and you can take some terms about evaluation, the sensors, the tracking, everything are methods that are used from high-level teams.
Good. And what you face a lot, you've done a lot of traveling, and you're part of the world. We talk a lot about coaching culture, and it's more like the culture of your team, or your attitudes, or the way you work, or the way that you play your defenses. So, but you have to face all sorts of other types of culture things. Is the feedback different based on your culture? The Chinese have a certain way to talk to a person, whereas in Greek it may be different, and in the Middle East a whole other type of effect with the personality. Absolutely. And the culture. Tell us some about what you've learned on that regard.
Okay, the approach it's every time is different. Why it's different? Because exactly what you just said. Because every nation has a different culture. The point is that every coach needs to be ready to implement and create his own team culture, like we were saying, in organizational culture, because a team is an organization at the end of the day. Adjusting, of course, at the habits, the mentality, the temper that his player has. For example, yeah, you're right. In Middle East, they have big ego. You need to know how you should approach them. In Europe, in Greece, for example, they love to compete every time. Everything is starting by defense in Greece. So if you are not ready to make a good defense in the Greek league, you will never do it. In Russia, for example, they love offense. You need to adjust. And when I'm saying they like defense or offense, this is connected with their temper, with their habits, with their culture as Greek players, as Russian players, as Arab players. So this is the hard part of the job, because every coach who's traveling and season by season, he needs to have a new team. He needs to adjust very, very fast, or he needs to be prepared to work with his assistants, with his staff before his arrival, because after that you don't have the time to start evaluating. You need to be ready. Of course, to me it was let's say not easier, but I was prepared. Why? I'm using many questionnaires, psychological questionnaires, with my players, so I can create profiles. So it's something that I would recommend if coaches they don't have the PhD of psychology. Probably many of them they don't, but they can ask to have a psychologist in their staff, and you can create the profile of each player, and after that, for sure, it's going to be very, very helpful and useful in order to create the organizational culture.
Wow, that's interesting. So what tools do you use, and how do you use that when you come to a new situation, those psychological testing and such?
First of all, you need to use questionnaires of personality. It's clear. I need to know the person that I'm going to work. Otherwise, it's like I'm trying to drive with my eyes closed, and I don't know what kind of car I'm driving. So there are too many questionnaire of personality. There are many questionnaire of anxiety. You need to know how your players they are acting under pressure, if they are ready to act under pressure. So I would recommend to the coaches to ask for a psychologist in their staff, and you create the profile for each player. Of course, this is confidential. The psychologist will drive you on that, but you may share the information, you may share the profile, and accordingly with the profile, you will start building your schedule, your tactical schedule, the individual skill for each player, and believe me, it's more than helpful and useful.
That seems like it might be a good place to use some of the AI tools to make a GPT or something, so that the players could take a test, or you could have them answer questions individually, maybe if they're honest or not, and see, and then that could help you maybe organize some of those thoughts. Do you do it on paper and pencil now, or do you do it in an interview? How do you get the
no firstly, I'm doing it in paper, in pencil, and interview. This is the way. I didn't use on that kind of evaluation. I didn't use AI until now, but for sure we could use it. But it's something which is very important, and it's sensitive. I'd like to stress on that. We need to work, if we don't have studies on psychology, we need to work with a psychologist, because we are talking about personal issues. We need to pay attention on that aspect. And every psychologist, he knows better than anybody else the ontological code, which we need to respect it. So even we're going to use AI, we need to do it under the driving of the psychologist, in order to don't make any kind of mistake. This is an issue which is very, very important, as everybody understands.
Yes. And then what about the feedback loop that's going to happen with the assistant coaches? You mentioned when you go to a new program that you have to lean upon and work with the assistant coaches. So hopefully they've been there before. And
of course.
And then also in the game or the practices, as well as the bench, the other players on the team. How are they helping with all this feedback in your systems?
Okay, first of all, we are working before the feedback. We are working with, since we have the profile for each player, and we know our team, we start working with fit before. For example, during the preseason, we have daily before practice some video sessions, and we are watching with our players the way that we're gonna run our defense or some of our plays in offense. So this is the fit before. After that, every video session is connected with the schedule and the main theme of the practice. If we will watch about defense, we are going outside in the court, and we run exactly what we saw on the, and we recording every practice. Every practice is recorded, and after that, the assistant coaches needs to prepare a feedback message, and we deliver the feedback message every night with the performance of our players during the practice, the stats, their attitude, how competitive they were, how hostile they were. We try to make it short. Okay, we don't want to make it a big analysis of their performances, but every night our players they are getting their feedback message, their mobile phone, and after that, at the end of the week, we have feedback video with the best or the bad parts of our practices on the past week, and we're discussing about that. Now, the feedback usually is we're starting positive, negative, positive. It's a sandwich method. We want usually to end it up every time with a positive feedback. Of course, there are some cases that we need to move to end it up with negative. If we lose a game with the big difference, for example, we have very bad performance. Okay, we need to be tough. At the same time, during the season, almost daily we have the assistants. They have personal meetings, 10 minutes, 15 minutes with the players, and they are discussing about the performance, their performance in the games, or the practices. So it's a whole process, which we try to repeat it again and again, but not exactly the same. The idea is the same, but something is different. So this is, in main terms, the way that we're running the process. This is cybernetic, actually.
So in the game, when it's the action and you're playing and your competition, how much are you using then the players to interact with each other, either on the court or the players on the bench to help you or to help the assistant coaches? How does the game dynamics, how do you help manage that? Or what are some of the things that you're looking for during the game?
Okay, during the game, in my opinion, but this is something which is to any coach. It's about the mentality of the coach. To my opinion, during the game, you cannot make so many changes. You can make only some adjustments. So if you have studied your lesson, good, and lesson means practice. If you are ready enough, everything's become easier during the game. During the game, there is feedback, but much more it's positive feedback. Of course, during the game, the dynamicity of the game, you cannot extend with many details. You need to be to the point. At the time that the game is played, one of the assistants is working with he's delivering some short messages to the players of the bench in order to prepare them mentally to be ready to go in the court. We have the halftime when we go in the locker room. Okay, at that time we can see our stats and we can give them a better feedback. We can make some adjustments. We can see what we did good or what we did bad. But the main idea is that we cannot change so many things. The players on the bench are driven by one or two assistant coaches in order to be ready to go in the court and help the team.
And then what type of stats do you use, during the practice week? And then are they different during the game as far as the statistics, the numbers?
Okay. During the practices, we pay attention, of course, of the percentages, 3 points, 2 points, free throws. It's very important, but we like to stress on assists, for example, in our offense, because we are very interested to teamwork, to our chemistry, turnovers, because the balance between assists and turnovers makes the difference. Everybody knows that. And in our defense, usually we are looking for the number of deflections. And in my opinion, creates a big difference. The team with a big number of deflections has better performances and has a great advantage. So those are the stats that we are looking for during the practices. After the games, when we have the official stats, we usually try to work with advanced statistics, and of course, artificial intelligence could be very helpful on advanced statistics. So we can have many ratio numbers significant for the parts of the game that made the difference. And some of them we keep them for us, for the coaches, in order to prepare next game. But many of them we share them with the players.
And so last year, you used the artificial intelligence to look at the post-game
When we are working about we're talking about advanced statistics. It's very easy to use ChatGPT and give them the number, and after that you have back the numbers, the ratio that you're asking for.
So like you would take the last 5 games, all the stats, put it into spreadsheets, and then ask ChatGPT, tell me the trends, or tell me the number of percentage of blocks, or your higher scores. It can see things that you don't generally notice, or no?
I beg your pardon?
How does it ChatGPT? Does it reveal some things that you don't always see?
No, every time you need to review what the results of ChatGPT every time, because I'm not sure that it's so ready to give every time significant results. But you need to review. If you will review it, of course you may adjust it. You may see easy the mistakes, but it's very useful. It's very useful, and he can give you more solutions and many ideas at the same time. The point is what we were discussing before, how don't let ourselves to be driven only by artificial intelligence, because at the end of the day we should drive the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this year, with the present season, the ChatGPT is probably much improved from what it was last year, because it's the evolution and the improvements have been so much better. Do you use video analyzing as far as the AI? Do they look at the videos, or does it just look at the numbers?
No, they are looking on the videos, but we are not using AI for videos yet. They are looking on videos, of course, but we are not using AI yet. For sure, yeah. I agree with you. Since that season and the upcoming season, they're gonna work with AI, and AI will be much more ready to offer anything that the coaches need.
Well, I have one more set of questions. John Wooden, the great late basketball coach. Yeah, you were talking about the sandwich and some stuff. Do you have any favorite thoughts or memories or expressions that might even go all the way back to John Wooden's days?
Yeah, okay. I have, and I don't remember it so good. It's about correction. Let me search my. I don't remember it exactly. If I can find it. Okay, a coach is someone who can give correction without causing resentment.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
your very
Yeah,
much your
that was my favorite. Yeah.
that's your organizational psychologist there
Yeah,
speaking.
of course. That's why. Yeah, that's why I did like it. Yeah.
Yes, very, very good. I would like to ask if anybody else has any questions. I don't need to take all the time, but I appreciate it. When is your season going to happen in the weeks to come?
Start of November. Start of November.
And you're playing in a league just in Saudi, or do you travel?
We had a tournament in we call it Arab Cup, and at the beginning of September, Arab countries, they are sending one team, and after that, the team participate. I was not with them in the Asia Champions League, and then they will have the local league.
And you will be coaching a club team in the local league?
No, I will not coach the team that the Alula team. I coached until end of September.
Okay. Well, have a good season this year, wherever it is, and
Thank you.
I appreciate this, and I would like to keep talking because I think this artificial intelligence in sport is going to have a lot of impact, and I think you're right that we need to make sure that it is a help for coaches instead of a replacement. And
Yeah, exactly.
that the relationship with the athletes is very important, and the machines are not going to be able to make us problem solve like the humans need to. And sport is all about being more human, I think.
Yeah, not only in sport, but yeah, we need to set the limits and the borders, and we need to understand how we can use the artificial intelligence, and we need to understand that at the middle, the important thing is the human being, the player. We cannot replace the player. We cannot replace the people.
Amen. I totally agree. Thank you so much for your time and your efforts.
Thank you.
And keep thinking about these big ideas with regards to coaching. I think the world needs to hear your voice. So
thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good season. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll end the meeting. It's